Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So what we're doing today, I finally reached like the halfway page of my sketchbook, and this is something that I started doing not very long ago. I started doing like very recently, where I just do something special with the halfway page of my sketchbook. I saw Rain Spirits, this artist here on YouTube, that does these kind of really beautiful pages whenever she gets to the halfway part of her sketchbooks, and I decided that I want to do that as well. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. So this is a tradition that started with my fourth sketchbook, and the thing that I do with these pages is I will pick a character and I'll draw them with different hairstyles, like different hairstyles than their normal hairstyle. And for this one, I decided to pick my OC Lagan, not Lagan, oh my god, my OC Uji. Uji is a golden mermaid and she's beautiful. I really love her. She's like a very old OC compared to the others, but I don't draw her as often. That's why I decided to pick her especially for this one, because I really wanted to draw my old OCs. This is something that I was talking about on my last video. I really want to draw my old OCs more. I feel like I'm not being a very good OC owner by not drawing them. So yeah, that's why I pick Uji, and yeah. One thing that I will always do with this kind of like halfway pages specials is that I will always draw them with alcohol markers. I think all of the ones that I've done so far have been with alcohol markers, except my last sketchbook one that was with colored pencils, because my last sketchbook didn't take alcohol markers as well. Like it didn't take them very nicely, so in a way that I liked. Not nicely, like in a way that I liked. It was very patchy, so I decided to use alcohol colored pencils there. But like all the sketchbooks I like doing with alcohol markers because they're faster, and I don't like spending a lot of time on these pages. But one thing about Uji is that I usually never draw her with alcohol markers because I'm scared that I won't be able to match the colors perfectly. I usually only draw her with watercolors. I feel like I'm more confident with mixing like the right colors and making her look the way that I want with watercolors rather than alcohol markers. So in this illustration in particular, you will see me struggling a lot, and I mean a lot, for like getting the right colors, especially for her hair, which is a part that I really suffered. And yeah, and not to mention that the alcohol marker, like the skin tone that I chose for her, was a marker that was already drying, which is something that's happening with me very often as of lately, and it's making me sad because that means that my markers are dying on me. But fortunately for this one illustration, I had a replacement. Actually, this marker that I was using, these Winsor Newton ones, they don't sell like refills for their markers, at least as far as I know they don't. But I bought several of these one color because it's actually one of my favorite colors for skin tones. I have several characters that have this one specific skin tone, so I bought several, so whenever one is drying I can quickly replace them. Now talking a little bit more about today's subject, like today's star, Uji. Uji is a golden mermaid, and I think I've mentioned this before, but there's this story that is that only exists inside my head, where the world, like my world, is divided into 5 kingdoms, and Uji is part of the water kingdom, being a mermaid and everything like that. And in this universe, the water kingdom has two type of creatures: the deep sea mermaids and the surface mermaids. And within the deep sea mermaids, there could like be blue scaled mermaids and golden scale mermaids, and the golden scale are kind of like a more of a rare species of mermaids, because like their gold fins, like their gold scales actually contain gold, and they are hunted down because of that. So Uji has like, she grew being very sheltered. Her family protected her a lot, because of that, because they were afraid she could be hunted down or something bad could happen to her. Actually, because of their rarity, like golden mermaids are seen as these kind of mystical creatures. Like it's said that they're the most beautiful creatures in the entire five kingdoms. So Uji has grown in this kind of situation where everyone treated her kind of like a gem, a jewel, kind of this beautiful painting that is exposed at a museum behind a glass film. And she has never felt like this connection with people, like grew up very sheltered, never had this kind of connection, real connection with people around her, and no one else could understand her until she meets Lagan, Lagan, which is the water goddess, like the water kingdom princess. And since Lagan had a very similar upbringing, they immediately became friends. They understood each other, and that friendship after evolved into something more, kind of like a more of a lover type of relationship. Actually, the relationship between Lagan and Uji is a bit complicated because when they realize that they're in love with one another, Lagan was already married, and she was married to none other than Uji's brother Daigo, which is another character, like a really cool character that I really want to draw more often. I think I only drew Daigo like once, but yeah. She was already married to Taiko, and they couldn't be together because in this universe, like in this kingdom and everything like that, in this universe in my head, divorce is not a thing. They couldn't really divorce, and the reason why they got married, it wasn't for love, it was for political reasons. But still, divorce wasn't really an option, even though both of them probably would be okay with that. But I keep telling myself that at the end they figure out some way. But to be completely honest, I don't know how they managed to figure a way. Maybe a little bit more thinking would make me get there. That's kind of like a plot hole into my story. But the thing is, like, after a while they figure out a way to be together, both like Lagan and, oh my god, that motorcycle keeps on passing and then my dog start barking. Okay, but yeah, I just know that one of these days I'm gonna figure out, and it's gonna be awesome. The reason why they ended up together is gonna be awesome. But the whole thing about their marriage is that it's not really something that everyone supports. But that was not for the reasons you're thinking of, like like their marriage being kind of like same-sex marriage. The thing that make a lot of people not support this kind of relationship between them, it's because of what Uji had to do in order to be together with Lagan. She ended up just giving up on her mermaid form, therefore giving up on being a golden mermaid. So yeah, that's kind of like a taboo. There's a way to do that in this universe, but it's kind of like a taboo and very forbidden, and Uji just went ahead and did it anyway, and that's why a lot of people don't support it. But they're happy, and that's what matters, I guess. Now, coming back to the whole process of this illustration, you see me just switching between color pencils and water-based markers and just normal pens like ballpoint pens because I was struggling. As I mentioned before, I was struggling a lot. I went ahead and started this illustration without having any plans at all. So whenever I got to some parts of this illustration, I just got completely lost, and I was just doing stuff without thinking really and just hoping for the best. And at some point while doing this, I just decided to stop, and I just came back the next day. That's because whenever you get to a point where you're no longer having fun while doing an illustration, it's better to just stop and take a break of a couple hours, maybe even a whole day or a couple days even, and just stop and not look at the illustration anymore. That's exactly what I did. I came back the next day, and the first thing that I noticed is that I no longer liked how her skin was looking, especially like the some of them, they were looking super patchy. So I decided to apply a layer of color pencils on each one of them. There's this trick that I have with color pencils whenever I'm drawing people with darker skin tones. If you just choose a color pencil that is like slightly lighter and a bit more saturated, and you apply on top, you can kind of smooth out the entire skin and it's no longer super patchy. And that's what I did with these illustrations with Uji, because it was looking a bit patchy. But this time it's not the problem with the paper. In my last sketchbook, that was definitely the problem with the paper, because even when I was extremely careful, nothing would happen. This time it was because of my markers that were drying, so I was trying to be as fast as possible while still applying enough like paint enough not paint enough ink into the page, and it ended up becoming a bit patchy. But just doing that trick with colored pencils kind of solves everything, and that's what I did. Usually, whenever I do these kind of pages, like these halfway pages, I end up running out of space before I run out of ideas, which kind of makes me draw them, like all these ideas, on like my next sketchbook. But with this one, weirdly enough, that didn't happen. I ran out of ideas before I ran out of space. That's why some of the hairstyles are like super simple, super boring. And this is something that has been happening to me as of lately, where I'm not really motivated with my art anymore, which is sad, and I hope it's just a phase and it's not a permanent thing. But yeah, I've been struggling a little bit. I've been feeling very lethargic and lazy when it comes to my art, but I'm just gonna hope that it's just a phase and it's gonna pass. So what you're seeing me doing here right now is because I'm like, Uchi has this kind of light blue hair strands going on her hair, and I wanted to do them with gel pens, but I was like, my blue gel pen was skipping so much and it was getting on my nerves. So I decided to just use gouache, and I did like a mix with a kind of like lighter blue, and decided to pass on the entirety over here. And this is usually how I do her lights. I don't know why I decided to try and use gel pen for this, because like the tip of my gel pens are not even that thick in order to be able to do all of this. But yeah, the thing is, while I was doing that, I ended up running out of daylight, and I decided to just cut it and go for a third day. So this illustration by far is one of the longest that I've ever done traditionally. Like, I took 3 days to finish this thing. But yeah, and funny enough, the longest illustration I've ever done, like the longest that I've ever taken making an illustration, was one of both Lagoon and Uji. So yeah, whenever I am painting them, for some reason I have to take super long. But right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to be using gold watercolors, because Uji, since she's a golden mermaid, she has kind of like these golden specks scattered around her body, and she has kind of golden freckles as well, and also golden eyeliner. Is it eyeliner? Eyeshadow? I don't know. I wanted to kind of add some of that gold around her and make everything pretty. So yeah, and also I ended up using blue metallic watercolors for her hair because I thought like the gouache, the blue that I mixed with the gouache wasn't really bright enough, and I wanted to make it a little bit sparkly. After that, I just decided to add like a lot of details with golden, like not golden, with metallic watercolors. And what you're seeing me doing right now with putting all these papers, I'm just trying to protect her face, because what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to add this kind of sparkles, not sparkles, like droplets of golden metallic watercolor all over the page, just to create this kind of starry effect. This is something that I like doing, just adding little stars, but this time the little stars is just golden color. And yeah, I decided to also add a blue as well, kind of to give this nice contrast and make everything like fancier and nicer. And since I thought the background was a bit too simple, I decided to kind of add this color. I think the name of this marker is Salmon. It looks kind of like an orange, but yeah, it's called Salmon. And I just kind of added towards like the entirety of the page, just like contouring everything, making the page look a bit more visually interesting. And here it's me showing off the final page. What do you guys think? I actually liked it. It's not my best work, but it's definitely not my worst. Probably I like it more because of the metallic watercolors. I am addicted to metallic watercolors. But yeah, this was it. If you saw something you like, please don't forget to leave a like, maybe even subscribe, wink wink, and see you on my next video. Bye!